John, it's been a while since I've sat here talking to you before a game. I've obviously seen and heard the interviews. Is it difficult to find new things to say in the situation that you're in and when there's an obligation to sit and talk about the games?
Well, we're saying the same things over and over again. The truth is that we should be dead and buried, but we're not. You know, we haven't won anywhere near enough games. Certainly at home, we haven't won enough games. We found a way to lose games that we should be winning. And I've got no doubt in my mind that we should have won that game Saturday. The least we should have took as a point. And you speak to some of their players afterwards and they can care. So the one good thing is we're still alive and we've got an opportunity to do something about it. Big ask, but big asks have been done before.
Players aren't stupid, contrary to, I think, a lot of popular belief. They'll know that. How can you say something or do something different to try to help them get a different outcome?
You're always searching to try and, not so much shock tactics, but give them a jolt. If you looked at the game Saturday and you see how well we played for big periods, and then we lost our way a little bit in the second half and it culminated in them scoring. But you see us defend really well for big periods and then you see us switch off from a throw-in. Is that the first time that's happened this season? I've got to say no. We've defended long throw-ins really well. We've conceded too many goals from a short throw-in to a player who's unmarked across the ball. Then you're debating the marking in the box. Can Mitch come round and help Notts out? Can Notts be a bit stronger? Can Seb get into a better position? You know, but it all starts at the start, which is the throw-in. And the sickening thing is that, you know, and it's no one's fault, but it's just little watershed moments. We've got the two players stripped to come on. I've shook hands with both of them, wished them all the best. The cards have been handed in to the fourth official. The ball goes out for a throw and we said we'll make it now, and the fourth official said I'm not ready. If he is ready and we do make the sub, they don't score, because by the time the two players come on, one of them is replacing Jack Nolan and he'll stand back next to the man who's crossed the ball. Jack had his back to the lad when he threw it and then turned around and reacted late. That wouldn't have happened. Now that's not an excuse, not at all, because you know we've got to defend that. But they're the fine margins that if we were allowed to make the sub, we probably wouldn't have scored. That's not to say we wouldn't have conceded after that. But that situation would have been averted as a part of the ball getting thrown to feet for the lad to cross the ball. That couldn't have happened. Now he still might have popped it off and he still might have crossed it. But them little things that go against you have been going against us all season, and that happens again Saturday.
Is it hard to not compile a mental list of those things and kind of carry them with you?
Well, you drive yourself mad. You know what? I've done a lot of work on my mental health side of my approach to football, and in the main, it's been quite positive. I've been able to galvanise myself, which helps me galvanise the players. Although some might say that I haven't done that as well as I should have done this season, but it's been a lot healthier. But I struggled to get the game out my head on Saturday night. So much so I'm trying to think of 80s obscure songs to ask Andy Gray this morning, just to try and take my mind off it, because I kept on going back to the goal, to the incidents that we've missed, the chances that we've missed, the opportunity that we've passed up, and that was a glorious opportunity. With the way the results went, Morecambe took their chance, we should have took ours, and that would have put us right in the mix with 3 strong games coming up, and would have given us a bit of breathing space. We've got no breathing space now, but we're still alive and we've still got to fight and believe.
How do you go forward and turn your attention to going to Bolton and trying to get what on paper looks like an unlikely result?
Well, we played Bolton twice this season. First time we were 2-0 up, and then we capitulated in half an hour, which, you know, fair play to them, they played really well in the second half. Then we it's been documented in the past, my thoughts on that game, but I don't think we deserve to lose that game, the cup game, playing for so long with 10 men. And so we know that we can compete with them. We've got to find a way to trouble them going forward. What's plagued us this season, our defences, our defending as a team, and we as coaches take responsibility for that as well, because we set them up. We've conceded too many goals, but the brutal truth is our goal for that's the column that's killed us. And for the chances that we had to not score on Saturday, just one goal would have given us a point. That would have been a massive step forward, and make the mathematics a little bit in our favour. So that's the thing that we've got to address. We've got to start putting the ball in that, which puts teams under the pressure that we've been getting put under when people have put the ball in our net. And we've made some glorious chances. So if we keep making the chances, we've got to believe we can take them.
How much of an effect did losing that semi-final and not going to Wembley have? I think you've won 2 of the games since.
Not for me. I think our demise in the league has started way before that. And it doesn't help when you're chopping and changing. And again, I don't want to make excuses, because I don't want to be one of these people who it's not my fault, it's this, that and the other. We're all responsible for where we are now, and I've got to take the brunt of it because I'm the manager. But we just haven't been able to cope with the amount of injuries we've had. And then add to that, you get the unexpected impact of suspensions. We haven't been able to cope with that either. And that's the brutal fact. We haven't been able to cope with the injuries and the suspension that we've had, which has meant that players have been missing for big parts of the season. And that's no one's... Well, you could say it's our own fault for the suspension. Some of them are, some of them aren't. And, as regards to our goalkeeper getting suspended twice, it's a flip of a coin now whether a goalkeeper fouling outside the box, one referee will say it's a red, one will say it's a yellow. And you've just got to be at the lucky end of getting the one who thinks it's a yellow. We haven't this season. I think Bolton have had twice this season. So that's the difference that you just need, and we haven't had it.
Is this must not lose to be potentially still in contention with 2 games against teams around you?
I think so. But we won't go in for the draw. It's not in our nature. I think if we go for the draw, we'll get battered. So I think we've got to find a way, and we've got to compete. And if we can compete and we can nick a goal, I think the game's there to be won. And we've got to believe we can win. And we've surprised lots of people in the past. So if we win tomorrow, it won't be a surprise for me. And I know that if we get it right, we are capable of beating anyone in this league when we get it right. We just haven't had it right anywhere near like the amount of times that we've wanted to this season. Probably 3 or 4 times we've played really well this season and got the result that we've deserved. We've played adequately for long periods in games and not got the result we've deserved. It's got to be all hands to the pump tomorrow, and hopefully we'll get there.
Would you take being rubbish for 3 games and getting the points you need?
100%. But the fact is, if we are rubbish, we're not going to get the points, I don't think.
You lost Tommy Lee at the weekend. What's the situation with him?
He'll be out for the season, son. Another massive blow, freak injury, contact on his shoulder as he's gone down. I don't think there was any malice in it by the Portsmouth player, and it's unfortunate that he's popped one of his ligaments.
So you've lost your leading goal scorer now?
Yeah. It's mad because we were talking about it on Saturday. I think Dion and Coley have scored more than our old team, which is a sad indictment of our old team, to be honest. but when you're playing with a disjointed team nearly every week, it's hard to get any kind of rhythm going.
And you mentioned, excuse me, you mentioned Colby Bishop, who you came up against at the weekend, Dion Charles, who you're likely to come up against in this game. How does it make you feel when you come up against those players that have served you well and scored goals for you and all those kind of things, and they'll be looking to beat you?
Well, they should be as well, professional footballers, and I'm pleased that they're doing well. You know, it shows that, you know, we are capable of getting our recruitment right. Both of them came from non-league. And whilst I stand by what I said at the weekend, you know, the position that we're in now is because the players I've recruited haven't been consistently good enough. I'm not saying that they can't be good enough, but they haven't been consistently good enough, and they haven't been up for the long haul in League One. And so, yeah, I have to carry the camp for that. But us as coaching staff as well have to carry the camp for the success stories that we've had with the recruitment, for the progression that we've made since 1989. So myself, Jimmy, and latterly John Doolan, yeah, we should carry the camp for that as well. So it's not all one way. You're not always to blame for all the bad things, and you're not innocent of all the good things. So there's been, in the 24 years ago, was it now? We came 24 years ago. There's been more good than bad, and hopefully there'll be more good to come as we go forward. Hopefully we'll have the best 10 days of our career here and stay in League One. We'll fight and fight and fight, and anyone who knows myself, Jimmy and John knows that. We'll know that, and that's all we can do. And we can try and instill that in the players, and hopefully we get the response from a team who know that they're capable of more, and they are hitting it.